Hey guys, Prince of Macedon here. I'm gonna tell you now, I'm a little ticked off right now because the audio did not record this again. And I checked the audio before I recorded it, and it seemed to be okay to me. But there must be some kind of mute button I activated. Anyways, my mission tonight for this, obviously, this is not live commentary, by the way. This is post-commentary, but you can see me talking right there, but it did not record my commentary. Anyways, my mission tonight was to play 3 matches and then make that a video. So, I'm playing this guy first, and he has this really bad opening. It's horrendous. Look at that. So I went for a quick control to center here. Very quick control to center. And this first guy's name is Drabison. And he's finally moved his bishop on that diagonal. So I'm going to start moving up my knight here. And then he moves up his pawn again. So that was a horrible move. It's just too many movements from that same pawn. That's a huge violation in chess. But anyways, I see this guy's moves. I'm not very impressed, so I get emboldened here to make some aggressive moves, and it's going to culminate with a sacrifice of my knight there. And I tend to do that a lot. I'll make sacrifices to make the game more interesting. So he moves his pawn there to attack. So I'm thinking now, I'm like, hey, look at his pawn structure. It's not very good right now. In fact, it's kind of bad. And his king he has no protection. So I'm going to eat that pawn by his king. I know his king's going to eat it, but if he eats it, that means his king can't castle anymore. And his king's not in a safe area. So that was my sacrifice. And you're going to see how it plays out. It doesn't quite play out the way I wanted it to, unfortunately. But yeah, my mission tonight was to play 3 matches, upload that, because that would have been about, I don't know, at least 15 minutes worth of chess action. And a lot of people have been asking about Sparkchess over the last few months, and so it is here. I'm going to give it a Saturday upload. Saturday and Sunday are my favorite upload days. Tend to get more feedback on those days. On the weekdays, not so much. So, I consider it a big thing to upload chess on Saturday, basically. But anyways, oh, you can't see how many pieces he has, but I have lost my knight. I didn't lose him, I sacrificed my knight for, development, and also to slow down his development. I was trying to get my pieces up there to attack. And he's just moving his pawns like, like it's the end of the world. I just thought, he was making some really bad moves. That's why I thought I could get away with that knight sacrifice that I made towards the beginning. It's like on my 6th move I made that sacrifice. So I'm gonna push up a little bit here. Just do a little pushing up. I like doing push-ups. And yeah, I really gotta figure out the audio on my face cam here, because I did check the settings and it seemed to check out okay. It's really annoying when you play 3 games of chess and then you notice that the audio is not working, because that means I have to go back like right now and then record post commentary, and I don't know what I was thinking at the exact moments I was doing it. That's why I prefer live commentary. This is not live commentary. And unfortunately, yeah, I did cut off the left side of the screen, and that's where you can see my opponent's whole name, and you can see what pawns and pieces he's captured from me. But if you just follow the board, you can see like who is winning. Right now, he is winning in terms of material. But yeah, again, yeah, you're in for 3 matches of chess tonight, or this morning, I guess, whenever you're watching it. And if you like chess, that'll be a good thing. So he eats that. That was a huge mistake I made. Because like he ate that pawn there, and I have nothing to gain from it. But at least I can, put his king in check, I guess. But it's here, this is where I start making some huge mistakes. Aside from the early knight sacrifice mistake, and aside from that pawn mistake I just did where I gave away a pawn for nothing. And you'll see the mistakes. Oh yeah, you can't miss them. But right now, my queen is deep in his territory. Like, I'm sure he's feeling the pressure. But if he just withers the storm, then you gotta realize that he wins, because if he does wither that storm, he is, a pawn and also a piece up on me, so that gives him a definitive material edge on me. If he can wither the storm. Or if I just make a stupid mistake, which I've already made 2 bad mistakes. 2 bad ones. So he's still pushing his his pawns up recklessly. Or not recklessly, but more like carelessly, because yeah, you really should not be moving your pawn structures that much. I mean, at least not at the beginning, when we're still moving our pieces out. Whoa. But yeah, I'm thinking, hey, maybe I could get his king in checkmate. But this is where it goes south for me. Look, now my queen has no escape here. I'm like, oh crap, what did I do? I left my queen there way too long, and he decided to cast a net over my queen, and now my queen's stuck. So I'm gonna resort to sacrificing. I think it's my. Is it my bishop that I sacrifice? It's not really sacrifice. It's more like delaying the inevitable. Making a move, hoping he makes a mistake on his move after that. That happens a lot when it's, 1 minute timer on your moves. But yeah, I do apologize once again that this is not live commentary, because right now my face portrait right there, it's just irrelevant, because I'm not even talking live there. I just don't understand why there is no audio in these videos for Facecam. But yeah, my queen's still in danger. I can move her 1 space down, but that doesn't really accomplish anything, does it? It does not. But yeah, I'm already, 2 pieces down compared to him, and 1 or 2 pawns down. So all I can do is trade queens, eat his knight, and then realize that I'm 2 pieces down, and he has the superior pawn structure, and I'm dead. So I eat that, and then this part I'm like, hey, this game's effed up. I'm just gonna resign, take my loss like a man, but there's really no hope out of that situation. So, second match, I'm gonna wait. See, I'm not gonna invite people to a match. I let them invite me. Now, this game is really annoying. I can tell you right now. Anyway, he opens with his king pawn twice. I'm gonna start with a Sicilian type opening. But, it could easily transpose into a queen's gambit, almost. So here, I see him making his move with his queen on his second move, so I'm thinking he's gonna try for a scholar's mate. That's when you move your pawn, then your queen, and then bishop, and attack that pawn in front of the king's bishop right there. Go for an early checkmate. But that's not gonna work. Not on me. So this is another match where I'm like, hey, this guy's making some pretty bad moves, and I'm gonna punish him for it. But to be fair, in that last match, it wasn't the opening that beat me. My opponent's bad opening and bad ideas. The fact that I sacrificed my knight, and the fact that I didn't capitalize on that is what destroyed me. It wasn't really him so much as me. Because I do tend to make things more interesting by doing stuff like that recklessly. Or I guess boldly. Now here, he has this pawn jammed right onto my side of the board. I don't like that, but that's gonna cram my pieces. So I can at least get my king into safety by castling. But right now I have to worry about how to remove that pawn from my side. It's not as easy as it looks, because he can easily protect that. But there he moves his queen again. And I'm like, what is he doing? So I decide to castle so I can protect my pawn over there. The pawn that was in front of my king's knight. And he moves his queen again and again. It's just bizarre. So first I was thinking moving that pawn, but I decided to move this pawn, I believe. Right? Or no, I think I moved my bishop there, and this stop his pawn from moving anymore. I think. Yeah, that's what I did. But if you just tuned in, yeah, this is the second match. I lost the first match because of a careless sacrifice and because of my inability to capitalize on that sacrifice. There's really nothing wrong with sacrifices if you can, turn it into an advantage. If you can't, then that sacrifice is going to screw you over. So you have to make sure you have a good plan to make it work. Because that last battle, it did not work for me. Then I made tons of mistakes after that. So it was a really bad fight for me. So he made that pawn moving right there to stop my knight from moving to that next spot right there. So I moved my pawn here. And that was a mistake by me because look at his bishop. His bishop's still chilling right there. He sees that pawn and he just takes it. That was a material mistake that I made there. That was just dumb. And now my knight's under fire. So I moved my rook right there. Just to scare away his bishop. And he takes my knight. Probably not a good exchange. I think in this situation where it's a bit more open, I think his bishop would have been more valuable than a knight. But he felt it necessary to exchange that bishop for a knight, and now I'm preventing him from castling with my bishop on that diagonal. But I do own that nice file right there with my rook, so that's pretty good. So I own a huge diagonal and also that file with my my rook. And now he's attacking my bishop right there. See that? So really no good movements for my bishop from that point, so I move my queen out to protect my bishop. I don't want to give up that diagonal. Am I right? That's what I do, right? In retrospect, I probably should have targeted his pawn, like move it down there in front of my rook there. Maybe put some pressure on that pawn. But that pawn has no pressure right now. He feels emboldened, making any kind of move he makes when he sees that pawn is chilling there. But yeah, as I thought, yeah, or as I remembered, yeah, I did move my queen up there to protect my bishop. But now, you know what that does? That opens up his queen to take my pawn back there. I don't know what was wrong with me, but I'm making all kinds of dumb mistakes. All kinds of dumb mistakes. So he takes that pawn, and now he is, what, 2 or 3 pawns ahead of me? Sorry, I can't see how many pieces he's taking from me. Because I cut off that board. It's kind of weird with face cam. You gotta, like, set the screen capture, you know, where you want to capture it. And you can't really see where you're capturing until you do this, so I didn't know I was cutting off that screen. So I'm gonna move my pawn forward here. Because I'm gonna put some pressure where my queen and rook are holding that file there. And I have to be careful not to move my queen too far away, because then his queen can eat my bishop. And I've already been making all kinds of dumb mistakes with my pawns. Like, it was a bad night for chess. So he castles finally. So there, I move my pawn forward. I think he responds by moving his rook over in front of on that file where my pawn's pushing up. On that open file, I believe. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, that's what he does. So now that gives me choices. I can either attack, or I can either capture to the left or capture to the right with my pawn. So I believe I choose that one to the right. It just seems a lot more lucrative. So he eats there. And now I see that he can kill my bishop. So I'm willing to exchange material here. So I'm going to take his bishop at the cost of my bishop. That was what I was thinking he was going to do. But it doesn't quite pan out that way. So I move my queen. I'm going to take that bishop. Because, you know, right now my rooks are connected, so they're pretty well protected right now. He moves his rook there. That was a mistake, because look at his back line there. His king has no protection. So if he eats my queen with his rook there, I can easily eat his rook, and then I have him in checkmate in 2. So he made a huge mistake. Right there. So his best move is to eat my bishop with his queen. But if he eats my queen with his rook, then that's going to put him in checkmate in like 2 moves. Let me know if you can't see it, because I can't answer it right now. But yeah. So he's going to think about this one for a bit. He's like, ooh, what kind of dilemma is he in now? So he does eat my bishop. And this is where I start thinking, how am I going to rectify this situation? What can I do? I can start gobbling pawns up with my queen. That's one thing I could do. Yeah, and there he took my my thing. But yeah, but by taking my bishop there, look at that. I get my rook back there. Now I'm putting more pressure on his king again. His king has nowhere to go. So he moves his queen in the way. So he's gonna start, you know, doubling down on his rook there. He's gonna, what you call, I guess, overprotect his rook. Now I'm telling you right now, I am winning this game right now. It's my queen and 2 rooks versus his queen, a rook, and a knight. I have the material edge over there, but he does have that pawn coming down. But that's something I'm going to worry about later on. And I can tell you right now, there's no way I can F this game up. So I consider this game a win, but I'm gonna ruin it for you right now. I do lose this game because I didn't know it was my move, but at the end of this match, you can see that there was no way I could have lost this game. Like, he was completely done for. It would have been my rook versus, like, 4 of his pawns. Sorry, my 4 pawns versus his 4 pawns, and then I had a rook at the same time. So he would have had no chance against me. See, okay, right there above the board it says your move. I should have read that, but I didn't. I never saw him make his move. I'm telling you right now, because this game is, it's definitely in the bag at this point. It is so in the bag. Eat. Yeah, let's say I eat his rook there. If he eats my queen with his knight, yeah, that's pretty much over. Because then he'll lose his queen. And if he does it the other way, then that's checkmate, because my rook comes down, and that's checkmate. So he went for that route. And now, look, it's his queen versus my queen, and then he has a knight against my rook. That is not a good thing for him to be fighting against. So look, I don't care that my queen's under danger. Because if I eat that queen of his with my rook, then that's checkmate. So I will let him eat my queen. But yeah, I turned this game around. I was losing. It was uncertain. But now I'm definitely kicking his butt right now. So I'm going to protect my pawn. That's going to make his queen stuck there. And he's going to spend this move opening that A file. Sorry, that's not A. Oh no, he doesn't do it yet. But he's going to protect his king soon. But you see that? Now I got his pawn under danger. So now it's his queen versus my queen and a rook. He has no chance. And see that pawn that's all the way on my side? I'm gonna eat it. But yeah, he moved that pawn next to his king so his king can get out of danger. Because he was feeling the pressure hardcore. So now I've removed that piece, or that pawn, and now it's a queen versus, my queen and rook. He has no chance at this point. Absolutely no chance. at this point. I'm going to put his queen under danger. So my goal tonight was to have a positive win ratio over 3 matches and make that a video. So I'm going to snatch his pawn up. So now it's 4 pawns versus my 4 pawns, his queen versus my queen, and then I have a rook extra. So yeah, he has no chance. So I do consider this a win. And basically, there is no way he could have won this. So this is where I make the mistake. See this? I'm waiting for him to move his queen or do something weird, but I do not see when he moves. Because when he moves, see, that's what he did. He moved his pawn, and at this point, I don't know it's my turn, even though it says my move up there. Because I was expecting him to move his queen where my rook was. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, I did not know it was my move, so the timer's gonna run out, and I lose because of that. But look at the board. Just look at the board. Does that look like a loss to you? It's... In terms of this, this computer, this online chess thing, interface, yeah, it's considered a loss. But look at that. There's no way I could have lost this. I really thought it was his move still, because I did not see him move his pawn there. And I do know it says your move. But yeah, I really do consider this a win. I mean, just look at that. I mean, seriously. So, once that timer runs out, it says, I resigned, and that's when I start freaking out. You can see it right here. Hold on. It says I resigned. So there I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what happened? You know, what the hell happened? I was like, what? Because there's no way, no possible way I could have lost that match at that point. So I consider that to be 1 win, 1 loss for the night so far. So I was hoping that this last match would have casted me in a positive win ratio. So, you know, I was like, well, whatever. It's just the interface that beat me. I didn't lose to him. I lost to the interface. If you really think he could have won that match, then you... I mean, at that point, if you thought he could have won that match in those last few moves, then you're mistaken. There's no way he could have won that. So anyways, I'm gonna wait for someone else. I do invite the guy with the highest score, or the highest plus ranking there. Which guy is it? It's some dude. I invite him and he doesn't come. So I have to wait again. But basically, the guy named Chas there, he's the one who's gonna invite me finally. Oh yeah, the guy at the bottom, Derek Jones, I invite him to a match. He has like 1756 for his ranking on Sparkchess. So I'm like, hey, you guys want a really good match? We'll play this guy. But he just sits there. He doesn't accept or decline my offer. So I go back to the main lobby, wait for someone to invite me. And it is going to be the guy named Chaz, who's right there. But yeah, I wanted my 3 matches for the night. That's why I'm just sitting here chilling like a villain. But yeah, I think I said this earlier. It is a big thing for me to upload Sparkchess on a Saturday, because Saturday and Sunday are my big uploads. That's where I get most of my my feedback from you guys. But on the weekdays, like, hardly anyone watches. I mean, hardly anyone watches anymore, but I get more feedback on the weekends. So there, Derek Jones is not accepting or declining my invite, so I'm just going to cancel the invitation to him. Because I'm not going to spend my time waiting for him to play a match when there's other people in the lobby. So I cancel and wait for someone to invite me, and it is going to be Chas who invites me. There he is, Chas. So again, I'm black, so this is my 3rd match playing black. He opens with his king pawn, and I'm going to respond with, again, a Sicilian-like opening, and then he does that, so that's no longer Sicilian. So I know his queen's going to come up, and that's usually a violation of chess principles to move your queen that early. You want to move your knights and bishops before you move your queen out. So I don't like how I only move that pawn one space, but at least it opens up my bishop and also prevents his king pawn from going forward anymore. So again, he moved his queen again. That is a huge mistake, moving your queen that many times in the opening. He could have minimized his damage there by not moving her again, but he moved her like twice. Then he moved his bishop there, and I didn't really see the point of that move. Unless he's trying to castle his king. So there, I put my bishop right next to his queen, put her under pressure, and that's gonna open up my pieces a bit more than his. Right now, I have the initiative against him. I've got 3 pieces out. He only has 2 pieces out, and one of those pieces is his queen. So since he has his queen out, I move my queen out too. I'm gonna put a lot of pressure on his king by bringing out my pieces really early. I also want to get my king into a castle where he's safer. So he sees what I'm doing. I'm gonna attack that pawn in front of his knight. So he thinks he has a response for it. He's gonna move his bishop down. So I'm gonna eat that pawn, threaten his rook. See that? Now he thinks he has a response for this. He moves his bishop right there, but he overlooks something. See his knight? No, sorry, not his knight. You see that space next to his knight? I'm gonna move my queen right there, put his guy in check. And on his next move, he blunders. Watch his next move. He moves his queen in the way. So that's checkmate. So in my opinion, I was 2 wins, 1 loss. Now, according to Sparkchess, that other game was a loss. But in real life, you know, your opponents can at least tell you that it's your move. I mean, you're gonna see him make a move, but here you can't, there's like no sound. I didn't read the your move part. But there's no way I could have lost that match. At that point. Anyways, that was my 3 games of chess for the night. I hope you enjoyed it, because people were asking for Sparkchess, and I love Sparkchess. Well, I love chess in general. So thanks for watching.